Hello, lovelies. This is 5 Minute Manifesting, and I'm your host, Lovey Brown. Thank you so much for listening. I am thrilled that you're here. And today I want to talk to you about assigning meaning to the circumstances surrounding your life and your manifestation. So when we say assigning meaning, what that means is that in your heart or in your mind or in your thoughts, you are telling yourself a story about what a certain circumstance in your life means. And especially around your manifestations or something you're trying to manifest, if it appears like something is going the opposite way, sometimes we, like I said, in our minds, we create a story that means we're not going to get our manifestation. And I think one of the best things that you can do for your manifestation, for your outcome, for the outcome that you want, is to not hold too tightly to those meanings that you're assigning it, or even changing the meanings that you're giving things. So, for example, if you're manifesting, say, an ex back, we've been talking about that in the last few episodes. I know I take a long time between episodes. I really do intend to get more consistent. I apologize. But back to what I was saying. Like, say you're manifesting an ex back or a specific person or a love relationship or a loving, committed relationship, and you have a specific person in mind that you're, say, texting with, or you've been texting with your ex, and then you go a day without hearing from that person. Sometimes we might tell ourselves that means we're not getting our manifestation, which that's not true. We might tell ourselves that they're not interested, that clearly they're not interested and they haven't texted us. And that's not necessarily true. We don't know the reason. If someone doesn't text you or doesn't text you back, you don't ultimately know the reason. And what you have to do is inside your internal world is tell yourself, and it doesn't really honestly matter what you tell yourself, but what you want to do is tell yourself something that makes yourself feel better. So, and it's different for different people, because ultimately you want to, one, feel good just because you deserve to feel good, and two, you want to get out of your own way in this manifestation, because your focus, what you put your attention in your internal world on, is what manifests. So if someone doesn't text you for a day and you tell yourself, that means they don't like me, then your attention is on them not liking you. But if you just tell yourself, like, oh, I guess they were busy, or better yet, or whatever story you want to tell yourself, like maybe they were busy, maybe their phone was broken, like whatever story that you need to create for yourself, because you don't know the answer. And maybe you'll find out the answer later, but you don't know. And even if it's because they don't like you and they don't want to text you that day, that still doesn't mean that you're not getting your manifestation. It could mean that they like you too much. They're intimidated to text you too much. So there's just any number of things. But the point is that you're in control of making that decision and deciding where the focus of your internal world is. And you have to keep redirecting your attention back to the story that makes you feel the best, the story that makes you feel like you're going to get your manifestation. And if you can't do that, because sometimes we just can't overcome those really strong feelings of they don't like me, they're not interested, I'm not getting my manifestation, is what you can do is say something like, I can have these feelings and these thoughts and these ideas and still get my manifestation. And that's sometimes like a shortcut to easing yourself into getting into the other stories. Like, I can have this thought, I can have this feeling, and still get my manifestation. Yeah, I know. So I'm going to say it one more time. I can have this thought or this story or this feeling and still get my manifestation. So you can use that as a way to assign meaning to the situation. And then, or you can also do what else I suggested it earlier, which is just assigning a good meaning, because you don't know the reason for whatever circumstances in your life. You can decide some like overarching things like, if they don't text me today, that means I'm definitely getting my manifestation. So it's all about like soothing yourself and keeping yourself in your internal world focused on what you want. and what you desire your outcome to be. So, thank you so much for listening, and may you manifest exactly what you want.